Hi everyone and welcome back on this third Getting Started. I can see Tim, I can see Valdair, Joy Daniel. You guys were having fun in the chat for a while. I was just looking from behind the scene. I hope you're well and thank you so much for joining me on another amazing session. I hope you're excited about today. I'm very excited. There is a lot to learn. We are going to be playing with many different apps. We're going to be playing with InDesign, with Adobe Stock, and with Photoshop. As usual, my chat is playing up, so I'm just trying to refresh because I don't see the chat on the side. So let me refresh behance.net/live. And for those of you that are watching us from YouTube, remember that you have to join us on behance.net/live, so I will be able to get your messages and read your chat. Fantastic. I can see you all now. So I just realized that I have to join the stream in order to see the messages. Of course. Here we are. So I'm Aldo here. I saw you yesterday, but unfortunately I was so busy that I didn't say hi. So I'm going to say hi today over and over again. Caroline, nice to see you. Amy, Norm. Celia is still not back. I love the way you guys are checking on each other. That's super, super sweet. And we got Joe Daniels. Sean, of course, is there. Morning, Sean. Pankaji Sharma is here. Fantastic. It's nice to see Nathan, the carrots from Brazil. Emma Pe is here, very excited, and of course our amazing team, which is going to help us with all those beautiful links that we are going to be able to use today in order to create this poster over here. So that's exactly what we're going to be creating today. We got 1 hour and a half before more magic happens, and in fact, let me jump into the schedule so you can see how the magic is gonna keep going today after our getting started. Team, please tell me off if that's a wrong schedule. I hope that I get the right one, but here it is. Let's jump into schedule. It's Photoshop, Sean, Photoshop. So I like to put some colors on my hair. Fantastic. So as you know, we're getting started with yours truly. For those of you who don't know me, because I see so many familiar faces, but I know that there are so many new people here joining us. I am Kladi, an Italian designer based in Manchester, UK, where I run my design studio, Printmysoul. I'm going to show you a little bit of what I do, but most importantly, let's see what happens after this getting started. So today we're going to be learning how to create an eye-catching posters working cross apps. And then after me, the amazing Paul Trani is going to join you guys for the first challenge of the day. So make sure to stay tuned for a Photoshop Daily Creative Challenge, followed by the photo compositing stream with Holly Rose Stones. And then at 11:30, the amazing Andrew O'Cradle will be live with the Illustrator Daily Creative Challenge, which is the second challenge of the day, followed by 3D and AR design with J Master. One not to me, so I'll definitely look forward for that stream as well. And then Jesse Showalter is gonna present third challenge of the day in Adobe XD. So the XD Daily Creative Challenge will be on, followed by Draw Along. I'm not sure if today is gonna be presented by Kyle or Paul. I know that yesterday Paul was tuning in. Let me know, team, you probably can let us know. And the day is gonna finish up in fun with Design Off stream hosted by the amazing, lovely Voodoo Val versus Tyler Pate. Pete, I think I say it right. I'm so sorry if I say your name wrong. If you know me, you know that that's something that happens often. But let's get back into our landing. So today we're going to be creating this poster. We're going to start by opening InDesign and then start to browse Adobe Stock in order to find templates, because I want to show you how easy it is, even if you have just the most basic of even no knowledge at all about InDesign for you to create a professional looking posters. And as usual, I prepared some treats for you. Of course. And today, because today's our last day together for now, is going to be even a bigger pot of treats. And let me jump on the other side, actually. I need to go that way so you can see it correctly. Whoop. Fantastic. So if you head on iamkladi.com/resources, you'll be able to grab all the assets folder, so all the assets that I'm going to be using today. So if you want, you'll be able to follow along, or maybe just enjoy and join the stream for now, and then in your own time you'll be able to create the work using the same assets. Let's go and browse and see what those assets are. The missing link. What's going on? I got all the link Floyd. Oh, team, sorry, I missed the joke before. Team's got all the link, even the missing link. Fantastic, is right there. So if you're watching on YouTube, remember, head on behance.net/live in order to ask questions. And as I say every day, this right here at Adobe Live is a safe space for you to learn. So even if you haven't played with the apps before, this is the time to download a free trial. You can just Google Adobe Photoshop, Adobe InDesign, and you'll be able to access a 7-day free trial and have some fun with me and see how you feel getting your hands dirty with this amazing app. And let's jump into the assets folder to see what I've prepared for you. So once you click on the asset folder, you'll be able to open a Dropbox folder containing many other folders. First and foremost, some photos. Those are directly through my iPhone X, and they are picture of my garden, besides this one over here, flower number 3, which was a photo that I took when I was in LA. And this is like a composition of flowers that I took. Again, they're all simple photo that any one of you can take with their phones. Nowadays, phones have such a fantastic cameras, so you'll be able to take good photos. Good enough, they're not perfect, but we're gonna see how Adobe Photoshop is gonna help us really take it to the next step and allow us to create a composition, the flower composition. Then going back to the other folder, you'll have a mockup. This is a photo that you'll be able to use. And what I've done here is that I already created a mockup for you, so you got a freebie there just for you to use. But I also strongly encourage you to use the image to mockup, which is what we're going to be doing together. We're going to learn how to transform this photo into a mockup. So we're going to clean up these little file over here, and we're gonna make it white, and then we're gonna create a smart object and all this fun stuff. So I've provided already the PSD ready to go, but I would love for you to have a play, so I stick in there also the original. And the other file is the poster template. This is a very basic starter InDesign file. For whatever reason you perhaps forget to download it from Adobe Stock, or you just want to start with a blank file, you'll have the right size. So this is an A3 poster, and we're going to talk about templates. So this is InDesign template, that's why it's an INDT file, and this is an InDesign file, so INDD file. That's the file extension that let us know which kind of file we're dealing with. Fantastic. Our poll is clear. All you have to do is to click on asset folder, and if you want to receive more free assets from me, just pop your email in there. And again, Kladi doesn't spam simply because I don't send stuff very often. Whenever I have extra time, I can put some freebies in there, mainly templates, and you can find a bunch of other stuff in here, including yesterday's stream and the day before. So today, let's jump into InDesign, and this is the final result. So what we're gonna achieve. So how do you do that if you have never perhaps used Illustrator before? Well, it's really simple. Adobe Stock comes to help us with some templates. So they are ready to use professional file already created in different apps. In this case, we're going to be looking at the InDesign one, and I'm going to show you in a second how to browse them outside the app and inside the app. Also, I want to specify that if you're looking to learn a little bit more about, for example, paragraph styles, I strongly recommend to watch yesterday's stream, so you can find it below under the graphic design tabs and also on my website. You'll be able to learn a little bit more about InDesign. Today we're taking a different approach. So instead of repeating what we've done yesterday, creating styles, we are going to learn how to use some fantastic professional styles that Adobe Stock is gonna give to us. So I'm gonna click here on the little home in order to share with you perhaps a very similar view. So maybe that's your view, or if you're home, those are your recent file. If you don't have any recent file, you simply have nothing below here. But what's really important in order to start a new project once you launch InDesign is to click on Create New. You can also click on File and then choose New and then Document. So another way to also open the file. So today we're learning 3 different ways. Click on Create New, choose File and then New Document, or Command N on Mac, that's Control N on Windows. All these actions will bring you to one result, which is opening the new document window. Today, we're going to be working with the intent for print. So what that really means. Once we toggle between print, web, and mobile, there are a few things happening into our window here. And I'm going to zoom in so you can see a little bit better. So first and foremost, the main difference between print and web are the units of measurements. Look what happens. Of course, units set our standard preset into millimeters. Of course, you can also change this into inches if that's something that you're more comfortable to be working with. That's absolutely not a problem. But look what happens if we click on web, the units change into pixels. Also, what changes is the color mode. For screen, we know that we're going to be using an RGB color mode. So we're going to be melting the color of the light, which is red, green, and blue, in order to create all the colors. And if we work in print, we're going to be using CMYK. So you don't have to do anything. You just have to tell InDesign, hey, I want to create a file for print, or I want to create a file for web. And yesterday, we also explored mobile, which we used in order to create an e-publication, which is a publication that can be shared online and seen on many devices. So we actually designed for iPad. And of course, here the units will still be in pixels and the color mode in RGB. But today we are going to design a poster. So majority of posters are intended for print, and that's why we're going to select our intent for print. So it's very important to understand your intent, to have an idea what you're doing before you jump into InDesign and open a new document. Once we select the print, we don't have to worry too much, because as I say, today we're going to be taking advantage of the wonderful templates. And as you can see, they're all here below you. So you can find some templates ready to go just by scrolling down, and we can see this futuristic poster set. But I'm already, the one with the tick over here on the top are the one that I already downloaded. And we're gonna have a look at these futuristic event poster set. So all those templates that you find here into InDesign are free. So you'll be able to download and to jump into them and work with them for free. And you don't even have to open Adobe Stock. They are right there into your new document folder. I also realized that I just not really reading the chat, which is usually something that I do very often. So let me scroll back. Let me bring it back so I can see some questions. Am I saying question, may I? Of course. And I'm going to be here reading. And for whatever reason, if I keep blabbing because I get excited about some tools, I will definitely go back and read like I'm doing right now. Do I need to convert my images from RGB to CMYK before I add them to InDesign, or will automatically be converted when I save into PDF as a CMYK? So we're going to look now to export for print. And if you do not have your color mode correct, InDesign is going to take care of that for you. But I strongly recommend, for a better result, for a better quality, in order not to have any issue with colors, to start by converting your images in the first place. So right there and then you'll be super safe to work in the right color mode, which is CMYK, cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. Otherwise, when you bring your images in, you're gonna have a little messages saying, hey, you're converting to a different color space, and then you can create, you can accept or cancel the conversion. But when we're going to export from print, of course, InDesign is going to package everything into the right modes. So InDesign and of course export for print is going to help you with that, but I strongly recommend to, if you especially especially if you're doing some artwork, for example, a book with a children illustration or an artist book or your own portfolio, then you really want to be careful because color really matters. And also you need to bear in mind that the paper that you print on is going to also influence the colors. So you really want to do your best from a file point of view to make sure that everything is done on point. And I remember something happened like that when a dear colleague of me, Micah Purnell, is an amazing designer. Go and check him out. We were literally going through the process of each photo because he was creating a booklet for, I think it was a painter. So we really needed to make sure that the red were the right red. So to kind of bring it back, Emma, if you do that in Photoshop, thumbs up, even better. Otherwise, InDesign is gonna help you anyway. What about LinkedIn? Oh, we got LinkedIn. You're just having a joke with the links with team. I was reading that. Valdair, some beautiful photos. Flowers are beautiful. I just took a photo of them, and they're just gorgeous the way they are. Yesterday, all my travel. I love that you guys are in such a great mood. Andres Aller, good morning to you. Nice to see you, man. Ingrid, hello, nice to see you. Here's Mahel, good morning from Mexico. And also Ingrid is saying that he's joining us from the Philippines. Coco Kobe from Tokyo. I love our community. We're so international. I'm here from Manchester, UK. And I just got confused because I saw your compliment. Thank you so much. You're so nice. Well, I enjoy my time here with you. I enjoy working with Adobe apps, and I hope that my genuine passion for my work just kind of gets into you. And if you go back into some of my older videos here at Adobe Live in branding, you'll be able to learn why I'm so passionate. I can change my career, and these amazing apps allowed me to become a graphic designer and an art director and to run my own studio. Fantastic. But let's dive in and have a better understanding of those templates. Again, if you have your questions, put them in the chat. I'll come back in a second and I'll keep looking anyway. So once we browse these little amazing free templates from Adobe Stock, you can perhaps also click on them and click on See Preview in order to see the preview. Oh, look at this, how beautiful and colorful. And if you end up liking it, I'm actually loving this one. I don't know why I haven't seen it before. It looks so fantastic. I'm definitely going to use it. Well, all you have to do is to click on download, and look what happens. If internet is kind with you, and hopefully my internet is going to be fast enough to enable us to do some nice work. Oh, it's already downloaded. Fantastic. So all I have to do now is to click on open. So it's already downloaded and is ready to go. Now we have one little alarm warning sign saying that some fonts are not currently into my Adobe fonts. So all I have to do is to click on activate. Look how cool that is. So I don't even have to search for them. InDesign is gonna say, hey, those are the fonts in this document and you don't have them. Do you want to have them, or you're going to be changing it with something else? So you can literally click and then change it. Or what I'm going to do is, because I thought it would looking fantastic, just simply click on activate. And in a few seconds, depending on your internet connection, I actually have to check on which internet I am on. As you can see, I have many different internets for my studio here. Done. Successfully activated 4 fonts. So these fonts are now going to be part of your Adobe Fonts library. They are seamlessly activated and ready to go. And also the Montserrat is the one that is still missing. We can substitute it with a missing font. At the moment, I'm just going to click on skip because I'm just looking to show you this file. We're not going to use it. This is just an example. We're going to use another file for our poster. And what else? We have another auto activate window menu that is asking us to enable auto activate. And the reason why I've not done that before, because I was waiting for you right here in order to show you how cool is that. If you click on enable auto activate, you wouldn't have to worry anymore. So next time that you download a folder and a file or another amazing template from Adobe Stock and you don't have the font, but they're gonna, if they are part of the Adobe font library, it's not even gonna ask you. It's just gonna go ahead and activate them and you don't have to worry. Completely seamless, super time-saving work. Hello, Mohammed Yassin. Nice to see you. Fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us. Isn't that super cool that we have access to all those amazing fonts and layout? I think it's absolutely mind-blowing. Okay, I'm definitely gonna keep this and you're gonna see it in my portfolio because I'm gonna be using it for sure. It looks fantastic. So how do I research other templates besides the main page? So if we go back and again set our create new and click on print in order to have a preview of the templates, besides searching the files over here, what we can do is to find more templates here on Adobe Stock. So as you can see, we have a search bar over here, and all you have to do is use your keyboard. For example, I'm going to use, let's say, poster, and click on go. And from InDesign, you're going to be taken into the Adobe Stock. And already, look how smart that is. Adobe Stock is already taken and filtered your request into templates. So it's already searching for templates, which is fantastic. Let me show you the difference. When you usually open Adobe Stock, here it is, that's the way it looks like. So you'll be able to search the entire library or images, video, audio, templates, RD, premium, which are very specific, super enhanced file, and also editorial. So you have all these categories to choose from. But then when you start to research your images, so I'm just gonna say flower, there is more going on here, because if you click on this little icon, you'll be able to bring up some of the amazing filter, which are the subcategory, price, the undiscovered content, and orientation, copy space, depth of field. Look how amazing that is. You can like really narrow down even to the color. So for example, if you're just looking for a specific color, so I'm looking for flowers, but I just want all red flowers, all you have to do is to select the color from your color picker over here, and Adobe Stock is gonna browse all the images that are a flower and that are red. And then if you want to even narrow down that research, we can perhaps say, I just want photos. Or maybe if you're looking with a vector illustration, we can just say, hey, I want just vectors. So you tick vectors and you're on tick photos. And look what happens. Adobe Stock is going to show you all images which are red and are vectors. So there are Illustrator files. Isn't that mind-blowing how deep you can go with your research? I find it super useful. But what is even more mind-blowing, and by the way, those assets are just fantastic. Look how pretty this illustration is. I spend so much time, I get lost into the Adobe Stock libraries. But what is super cool here is that, let's open our document, and I'm just gonna use let's see if we back here. I'm just going to use this as an example. Once you have your document open, if you go under window and then search for CC libraries, all these beautiful search options are here within your apps. So if I now search, and I'm going to jump on the other side so you guys be able to see the libraries a little bit better. If I search for flower into Adobe Stock, so again, all I've done is gone under window, make sure that our libraries are up. Here it is, CC libraries. And then this is the panel that is going to come up with all your assets. And you can also stretch it perhaps by simply clicking on the side. Let's see, or the bottom to make it a little bit bigger. So you can have a better look at the assets within your app. And then here you can also click on the down pointing arrow and really narrow down your research. And there is something else even more cool that you can do is right click on an image, and you can also find similar or see details on the web. So the Adobe Stock possibilities are really absolutely unlimited. Look how many different flowers it's finding for us, and those are all vectors. And you can change your mind anytime. So you can untick and tick photos, and that's gonna change for you. Isn't that super cool? So let's go back into our templates, and we can also find our templates over here. So if, for example, we just change this search field into poster and then click on templates, we'll be able to find the templates that I've used, which is this one over here. And I'm gonna actually jump into the chat so you can see the number of the photos, because that's something that also super cool. So another way to research for images, if you're working in a team, you can either share by saving them to a library, and I'm going to show you to do that into a second, but also all you need is perhaps this file number. So all I'm going to do here is to press Command C in order to copy this file, and then jump here into the chat. Oh, let me see why it's not showing the chat. I told you guys for some reason it's not showing the chat over here. Should be doing it right now. Here it is. Fantastic. So let me just put, so poster template. Here it is. And maybe Tim can also find it on Adobe Stock and share the link. And you'll be able to jump right in. So if you just go on stock.adobe.com and place the number that I provided for you into your search bar, is gonna come back with the exact same template that I've used. Isn't that fantastic? Caroline is saying, I love that font with the leaves. Do Adobe Stock accept patterns? And Kasha, you mean if they accept in terms of if you can provide patterns or if you can download patterns? Let me know. If you can please expand a little bit more. And Tim is there already with the link, so you can just click. You don't even need to search for the number. The link is there in order for you to find this poster layout. Fantastic. But let's jump back into InDesign, because what I want to do here is to show you how to create a new library so we can import our file and we can have some fun. So if you are done with your research, all you have to do is to click on this little X in order to close the filter, and then click on this down pointing arrow and click on create new library. Let me zoom in so it's nice and clear for everyone. Now, probably your library is not going to look like that just because I have a ton of libraries. I tend to clear them as much as possible, but I still enjoy using them over and over again. So click on create new library, and we're going to call this new library poster design, and then click on create in order to create your new library. Now, how do I add that template into my library so I can start working with it? Where there are many different ways. So you can go back and search it, and again, just click on plus. Now, the reason why I just have the plus icon, you will probably find the cart icon, is because I already licensed it. And here it is. Once you click on plus, it's done. All you have to do then is to double click on the file in order to open it. And as you can see, it opens into a new InDesign file. I didn't have this font, but of course, because I enabled the auto relink. Tim, help me out. I don't remember the exact correct term, but Adobe Font went and looked for the font, auto activate. So Adobe Font went and opened the font directly, search for it, and put in my library, so I can just go ahead and use it. Akansha is asking as a JPEG but not as a AI. Oh, you are interacting with Tim, who's replying to your answer, saying yes, there are patterns on Adobe Stock. Some of them are even seamless, but they won't work as a traditional pattern layer. You will have to create a pattern yourself. Correct. So I might be able to show you how to create a pattern in Photoshop if we have time. So much thing to do, and it's only 1 hour left, but we'll do it. I'll show you how to create a pattern in Photoshop. Otherwise, Ankasha, if you're looking for an Illustrator pattern, I got some trick for you. And if you go back into my website, I am Kladi. Another place where you can find a lot of resources are the video tab. So I am kladi.com/video. And this page is dedicated completely, fully to my Adobe Lives. If you click on Adobe Illustrator, you'll be taken to our lovely DCC sessions. And actually, I didn't click, I just scrolled down. But if you click on Illustrator, it's going to take you there. Here it is. There is a video here for how to create patterns in Illustrator. So if you want, all you have to do is to download the vector file that you enjoy from Adobe Stock, and then follow the instruction here from this DCC in order to create your own pattern. Right, fantastic. Aren't we like, we got everything ready for you guys. Perfect. Joe was helping me out saying auto activate font. Correct. Perfect. So going back to our posters, we have our font, which are already activated. And something that I want to show you about this amazing template is the fact that it's using an amazing feature here of Adobe InDesign, which is the content collector. Let me bring this back. And by the way, if you want to move panel, all you have to do is to click and hold, and you'll be able to drag them wherever they want. If you want to consolidate the panels, all you have to do is to bring them back, and you're going to have a little blue line, which is going to show you where you're placing your pattern. And then simply let go, and it will be included. Then click on this 2 down pointing arrow to bring them back to icons. And if you want to expand them, click it again, and you're going to be able to see them. Fantastic. So I'm now looking at the pages, and as you can see, I've got 2 different pages here. One is the A master and the one is a B master. As you can see, there are 2 different sizes. So one is the European A3 size, and the other one is a V tabloid. So isn't that amazing? Adobe InDesign allows you to keep many different sizes of file within your image. Something that I find very cool, again, is this feature here that is called Content Collector. Let me show you how did I find out that the Content Collector was used. Well, very simple. If we press the letter V into our keyboard, we'll be able to go into our preview mode and see the entire file. So let's have a look here. We already have a file that has a bleed line, which is the line outside the trim line. For those of you that don't know it, this black line is where the file gets trimmed, and this red line is an extra line that we can use in order to expand our images. So if we have an image that go right out of bleed, so let's say, for example, I'm gonna use my Adobe Max little notebook as an example. If we're creating this little booklet, and I'm gonna take this image off so we can see it better, we know that the image is going to be trimmed at this edge. So what happens if the printer trims it a little bit off? And by the way, it's not a bad printer. That happens all the time because printing machines are huge and they cut many different little pieces of paper. So it's very common. Imagine like when you have a very, very huge stack of paper, that one of them can shift of few millimeters, and the actual professional number of for a bleed is 3 millimeter, because that's the sort of margin of error that a blade has. So when a blade comes and chop off the piece of paper, it might miss the trim line, which is this black line. So instead of chopping here, it chops here. And if you do not extend your image up to the bleed, what happens? You're gonna be having almost like a little tiny white line showing up, which is something that you don't want. So in order to prevent, and it usually looks sometimes looks like even uneven. So you will have like a little white space and then color. So we really don't want that. We want to work in a professional manner. So we want to use bleed. And if you don't know how to do that, well, a template, an Adobe Stock template is the way to start, because it's already there set up for you. BD logo design is saying creative productivity, brilliant strategy. I appreciate it. I would love to see your creative 3D mockup project and workflow. Tools using Adobe Illustrator, Photoshop, Dimension, it may inspire. Fantastic. Yes, I haven't tapped into Dimension that much, simply because I am really diving into InDesign, Illustrator, and Photoshop, but I absolutely love it. I'm gonna have to definitely use it more, and definitely I'm gonna keep your comment BD logo in order to get inspired. That's the beauty of working together, to inspire each other. Ankasha saying that has created the pattern in Photoshop, but love to see the Illustrator process. Well, that's the beauty of the apps. Don't worry if you rather use Photoshop for it. That's absolutely cool. And that's why we are so many streamers here at Adobe Live, because each single one of us uses the apps in a different way. You can even do a full poster in Photoshop. I prefer using InDesign, and I'm going to show you how do I do that. Okay, so we don't know anything about InDesign, and we already have a file pretty much ready to go. All we have to do is to change text, change background. We got the file, we got the font on point, we got the layout on point. Done. Could it get easier than that? I don't think so. Well, let's have a look at what I was talking about before I got lost in talking about many other interesting things here. So I was mentioning the content collector tool, and I'm gonna zoom in into this bad boy. So this content collector tool is a very useful feature of InDesign that allows you to link content within different pages and even different documents. So you can see that it was used in this document because I see all those little links here. Can you see? All those little texts are linked. So basically that tells me that whatever is done on this very first page was then linked to the second page. So if I change the word festival into party, for example, look, we got a little arrow popping up here. And that's because we need to update the file. So in order to update it, just click on your link, then head into your window panels and make sure that you select links in order to see your little links panel popping up. And look what happened. It says that we do have an error because the link has been modified. So in order to have an update of this link, all you have to do is to click on these little two little arrows. So let me zoom in so you can see this little icon here in order to update the link. So let's click. Once we select the one with the error, let's refresh it. Boom, here it is. You're already updated. Isn't that amazing? Fairy Tuomo next. Thank you so much for joining us. Also, we have Nadia B in the house. Welcome. And by the way, guys, while I'm blabbing away about all these amazing tools, let me know where you guys are from. So far, I know we have Philippines, Tokyo. I don't remember. Those are the one that definitely stuck my mind. I'm just going to go back into the chat to see if we had Mexico, Philippines, Tokyo. That's what I had so far. Let me know, and of course UK, because that's where I'm streaming from. But let me know where you're tuning in from. I would love to know where everyone is. Team, are you in Berlin? Where are you? Are you in Germany? I believe so. Reading UK, Joe Daniels, we're not that far, are we? It's definitely closer than Tokyo and Mexico. But again, if you're watching from YouTube, make sure to pop in on behance.net/live, so you'll be able to also interact live in the chat and have your question answered. Sefiu is from Nigeria. Paloma's from San Antonio, Texas. Team is not far away from Berlin. Fantastic. So we already have 3 other different countries. Fairy Tomo from Indonesia. That's amazing. So mind-blowing. And if you want to know a little secret right now, our lovely Jesus Ramirez is flying to the UK. So he's going above all many different countries, and he's leaving the US to come here in the UK. So hopefully you're gonna see him soon streaming for the Photoshop DCC directly from Manchester, UK. We have Lucas Pinheiro from Brazil, Nadia from Morocco, Sean from Germany also, and Biola said she's Nigerian, but she lives in Brooklyn. So fantastic. I love that you guys can connect. Caroline Haynes, Sheffield, not far from Manchester. Absolutely. It's absolutely lovely. Andrea Hollers from Germany. Marina Ciao from Italy. That's so nice to have Italy in the house as well. Great. So now that you had kind of had an idea of how this little link feature works, let me show you how you can get to link different files. So all you have to do is to click on the little content collector or press the letter B into your InDesign file, and then making sure that the first item icon is selected, which is the collector. Otherwise, the second one is the placer. So make sure that the first one is selected, you'll be able to click on items and look what happened. They will load into the reel. So here they are. Each single element gets loaded. Then you can perhaps create a new document and then bring this item in by pressing the letter B in order to toggle between the collector and the placer. And let me zoom in so you can have a better look here, because they're just right there next to me. So this is the collector. All you have to do is to click on it and then click on the elements to collect them. And as you can see, they're loaded there into our selection. And then to place them, press B to switch into the placer, and you'll be able to link and place them. Also, you can deactivate the link. In that case, they will not update. So I strongly suggest to create the link. And there are different ways in which you can place them. So you can place them and remove it from this conveyor, which is this space over here, or place them and keep and go to the next one. Place them, remove it, and load the next one, or place it, keep it in the conveyor, and load the next one. So let's see the difference. So if I place the image over here, as you can see, it brings it to the back and it loads the second one. But look what happens if I ask to place multiple and keep it in the conveyor. I'm going to place more than one. So it's not going to change. It's just keep using the same element over and over again. It's going to keep it in the conveyor, but it's not going to change to the other element that over here. While if we click please place remove from the conveyor, I'm gonna place it once, but then it's gonna disappear, so we don't have it to use anymore. Viola said I always ignore the whole collect thing. Well, it's very, very useful. And another thing that is super useful is that if we go in another document, let's press V in order to exit the conveyor, and go into these other documents and press B. The files are still there. So if you want to bring, for example, let's say this text, this Lauren party there, all you have to do is to make sure that you click on the collector and select Lauren and party and whatever else you want. And then all you have to do is to go back into the other file, click on the placer, and here they are. I mean, they're ready to be placed. So we have our shape. Oh, it says that we have to save our source. Let's save our file. Let's call it poster. You guys should have reminded me of that and click on save. I'm just joking. I'm really bad. I do that all the time. So we can start placing our items and also our text. Here it is. And it's ready to be placed in any other document, even the image. Isn't that fantastic? So does InDesign have the same concept like Photoshop? I'm not sure I understand that question, Fairy. If you can please expand again. So what do you mean by the same concept? We're going to jump into Photoshop in just a second in order to start enhancing our images. But I thought that because this template ad was using the links, which are those little text, thanks to the collector, it was nice to show you guys why they're there, because perhaps many of you would have been wondering how come that those text box have the link and some others don't. Well, the reason why they're linked, now you know, is because it's content that is being placed and copied from somewhere else, linked, in order to be able to make the changes only once. Okay, fantastic. So what I'm going to do now is double click on the very first page, because that's the one that we're going to be using. Is the same size of our posters. So we're going to be updating our text, and then we're going to be updating our photos. So here all you have to do is to double click, and for example we can make this one the 5th instead of the 1st, and then we're going to keep annual, and then we're going to write here end of, because we're going to create an end of summer party, and we're going to change Lauren into summer. But look what happens. The word summer is too long for our text box, so we can either adjust our text box, or we can change the paragraph style in order to have a smaller style so it could fit. How do we do that? We head into our properties panel, And as you can see under the characters panel here, we have main headline, which is the style that is already been saved. So again, you don't need to know much about paragraph style. If you're just getting started with InDesign, it's already there. All you have to do is to edit it. So all I'm gonna do here is to click on this little icon in order to bring up the paragraph style panel, or you can choose window menu, styles, and paragraph styles, and those will bring up the same panel for you. Fantastic. So main headline is the one that is affecting the word summer. In order to edit the paragraph style, all you have to do is to double click, then select basic character formats in order to have a look at the size, and making sure that your preview is ticked so you can see your changes happening live. And let me zoom in so you can see it's here at the bottom left of the window. We can go ahead and start to scale down our size until the word summer fits in our box, because we don't want to change the layout, we don't want to change the alignment, we just want to make it look nice and neat. Fantastic. When you're done, click on OK, and that will be saved. And now of course we need to change it in here. So look, now all these little warning sign are telling me that things have been changed. So all I have to do is to click on them, and again, remember, you can find the links under the link panel, which is located like every other panel under the window menu. So again, window, make sure the links is selected, and you'll be able to see all this linked panel. Now click on the first one, then hold command in order to select multiple, and click on fifth, and I think that's it for now. Those are the ones to update, and then you need to press only once into your refresh link, and here they are refreshed as well. Okay, fantastic. So what I'm gonna do now is to press pages, and I'm gonna delete this page because it's just getting us confused. In order to delete the page, all you have to do is to select the page that you want to delete. In this case, we know that it's page number 2. We can see it here from the little preview because it's the one that is looking messy, because I was playing with the different assets here. So click on the page once here from the preview, then click on the little bin, and here we go. InDesign asking you, object will be deleted because there are objects on the page. Are you okay with that? Yep, I'm okay with it. Fantastic, it's gone. So we are back to our templates, and I'm gonna start by again changing here. So we're gonna make this one Sept for September, and of course we are in 2020. Oops. City, we're gonna make it in London or Manchester. Let's do Manchester. Manchester, I believe, is MCR. And then I'm gonna put here some of the music that, actually, you tell me what to write in here. What I did into my preview, I think I had Eminem, I had Beyonce, I had Cardi B, probably Jay-Z. I don't remember. I had Lady Gaga, Billie Eilish. I think those are the band that I had. We want to make it like really high profile festival. So let me know if you have any favorite one. I'm gonna just look at the chat and put in here the one that are coming up in the chat, but one that I'm gonna keep is Eminem. So first one is gonna be my choice, Eminem, and then I'm gonna follow your advices. So let me know in the chat your favorite musician, band, group, whatever you want. I'm gonna place it in there. Let's go. Then while you're typing in your favorite musicians or band, I'm gonna change the party into festival again because I think it looks better. Link Floyd. Team, you're being funny today. That's so funny. So we're talking about link, more links. So of course, Link Floyd. So I'm gonna put Pink Floyd here. Should we write Link Floyd? No, let's do Pink Floyd. That was funny though. Very good catch, team. Oh, her. I love her. Absolutely. So Pink Floyd for team. And then we have, oops, probably there are 2 words, isn't it? That tells you how much I know about it. Pink Floyd, fantastic. And then we have her. H-E-R, fantastic. La Compagnie Creole. That's wonderful, but it's just a little bit too long. So I'm just going to skip that. Marina is saying Gigi D'Agostino. As an Italian, I refuse myself. I'm just joking. Let's see if there is anything with some smaller names. I'm gonna put Cardi B here at the bottom just to balance that out while you guys put some more names. Let's try to keep it short, please. And the neighborhood. Ingrid, I know I love them as well, but the name is super long. And we have in the chat saying, Biola was saying that Tim is so fast with the wheat. I agree. Tim is amazing. You too. Perfect. That fits. You too. Great. Thank you so much. We just needed something that it was, link 192. I don't know how to pronounce it in English, but they were like my fave. Fantastic. I think we're done. So we got Eminem, Her, U2, Pink Floyd, and Cardi B. Fantastic. And of course, if you want, you can add another one. So we can have, for example, James. They are from Manchester. So you can also write here and we can add James. And as you can see, they didn't fit into our box, but in order to make our box larger, all we have to do is to click into our selection tool or press V, and then zoom in. And there are two ways in which we can make this bigger. One, using the shortcut option Command C, but that's gonna create a second line. Otherwise, I'm actually gonna keep the second line so we can add perhaps Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars. So let's see. But otherwise, I'm gonna press Command Z to undo. You can make this window bigger, this little text frame bigger. And you can also press Option on a Mac, Alt on Windows, to make both sides bigger. So it's gonna stay centered. Isn't that super cool? Otherwise, again, in order to create a third line, all you have to do is use the fantastic shortcut option Command C. That's Alt Control C on PC. And then if you decide for a second line, make sure to bring those up a little. Fantastic. So now I got more room to add someone else. So for example, I'm gonna bring that to the second line. I'm gonna copy and paste this little symbol here. And I'm gonna add, who else? We said Cardi B, Lady Gaga. Oops. Fantastic. I think we're done. I think we already have a pretty cool festival. And all we have to do, we're gonna call it Cool Festival. We're gonna call it Pretty Cool Festival. Pretty Cool Festival, if I can spell. And again, we have the same issue here, but don't worry, we can stretch symmetrically our text box by holding Option on Mac and Alt on Window, and here it is. Magically is going to stretch from both directions. It looks like we really gotta make that longer. Pretty Cool Festival. I know it's ridiculous, is extremely long, but we're just having fun here, and the major point is to show you all the possibility. Hi Bize, nice to see you. This festival will be epic and expensive. I agree. Fantastic. So Sebastian is saying, thanks team for showing. I know that team was sending some help link there. Fantastic. So we change all the text, and again, look at here. We have all the links saying, hey, we got to update all of that stuff. No worries. Again, click on the first one, then Alt Control on PC, Command on Mac, and let's select all these little links that need to be updated. Click once on the refresh and update the link, and boom, they will be updated here as well. Great, fantastic. I know I have a little issue here, and this is because of the paragraph style. This is because whoever created this file has created two different paragraph styles. So we changed just the first one. If you want to be super clean, we can double click and change. I believe that it probably was 176 what we were using, and click on OK. So nice and clean. We updated all the paragraph styles. We updated all the link. Basically, we're working on two different documents in ones. They're two different files, they're two different size, and we are just replicating the information. Thanks, Kladi Gaga. Tim, you got me distracted with that. Peshang is asking, what was the shortcut keys for creating a second line in Mac? So if you have a text box which has overflowing text that doesn't show, in order to fit your text box to the text, to the content, the shortcut is, Peshang, keep attention, is coming, Command Option C if you're using a Mac. Well, if you're using a computer, a PC, Windows, is going to be Alt Control C. Fantastic. So it looks like all our content in InDesign is being edited from our fantastic Adobe Stock template. All we got to do is to press Command S to save, and we can start to open up Photoshop in order to play with some images and create that background that we were aiming to. Here it is. So this super flowery sort of summer vibe, colorful composite, starting from your photo. Well, in this case, we're going to start from my photo, but hopefully you can use yours. Team Kladi Gaga is so funny. Okay, so that was my final result, but let's get there together. So we know that we're using an A3 poster. So the first thing to do is to jump into our home. So when you open Photoshop, that's going to be the way that it looks like. Of course, we're not going to have the same recent. I have a lot of flowers because those are the images that you have access to. And remember, if you just tune in, you can head to iamkladi.com/resources. Here it is, in order to access all these photos here. Click on Asset folder and you'll be taken to the Dropbox folder, which contains all the getting started in Photoshop and InDesign files, included Kladi's original flowers photo from my garden here in Manchester, UK, that I'm happy to share with you. Great, so let's head back into Photoshop and let's open those images here. There is actually a very cool way in which we can open them, and I'm probably gonna show you the cool way. Instead of opening the single image, let's go ahead and place those files into our library. So I'm just gonna stay back into InDesign for a second, and then go back to our CC libraries and take a sip of water. Here it is. And then what we're gonna do here is to go to our destination folder, whatever that is. Hopefully you already downloaded your little flower folder. Here it is, getting started. And then this is the number 3. This is the folder. We got the flowers. So all I have to do is to click and drag from my destination folder, and then drag all your assets into the libraries. Boom. They're there, ready to use. And look what happens now. I can completely close my folders. I don't even have to open again, because when I jump into Photoshop and then click on Create New to create a new document, we're gonna still be set with our intent for print. Click on View All Presets in order to select A3. So we're gonna work with the correct size for our poster. I'm gonna click on Create, and then making sure that your libraries panel is open. Again, even in Photoshop, all your libraries will live under the window menu. So make sure to choose Window and then CC libraries. If I can find it, here it is. It's called libraries. So in InDesign, they're called CC libraries. In Photoshop, they're called libraries. Make sure that that is selected in order to access to your libraries. And if you click on this down pointing arrow, you'll be able to navigate to our poster design, which is the one that we created. And our files are there, ready to go. So we blink team link. You guys, I love all these link theme. Link different. Team today. Okay, so I'm very bad with jokes. I'm very bad with being comic. So I'm glad the team is taking care of that today, because I'll definitely won't be able to do that. I'm gonna get some more water. Sorry guys, I'm probably gonna get just some normal water so it's easier to drink from a bottle. I'm so rude, I'm so sorry, but here it is. I just needed to get a little bit of water so I can keep talking about all these amazing things that we're going to be doing today. Fantastic. Here it is. So we got all our flowers in the library, and they're synced in right away. Once we put them in, they're there. We can access them from here. We can also access them from our Creative Cloud. So if we go into our apps here, there we go. Oh, look at that. You can also access resources from stock from this panel. That's fantastic. So I'm learning with you guys. You'll be able to also access many different assets here, your apps, your update, your work, which includes all your libraries. Sorry, I got a little bit distracted because I never realized that we have Behance here. That's fantastic. So you get all the resource links, so Adobe Font, Adobe Stock, directly from your Creative Cloud app. That's super cool. But if you're looking for your libraries, you can find it here. They are alphabetically ordered. So we're going to find our poster design towards the bottom over here. Here it is. And as you can see, all the folders are here. So if you're working, all the images are here. So if you're working in a team, all you have to do is to literally click here on this little share library, and you'll be able to share this library with your team, with your friends, with whoever you want that you're working with. Isn't that super cool? Everything is syncing, everything is working together. All we gotta do now is to start to bring in our flower and see how we can transform those simple photos in some cool elements. So I'm just gonna bring in some photos in here just to have an idea all the different assets that I'm gonna use. And then we're gonna, the beautiful thing is that once you bring them in like that, the layers already get the same name as the file. So all the layers are getting named as well, which I think is super, super cool. Let's bring this flower as well. Aren't they super gorgeous and colorful? Fantastic. So I think we got the majority of them. Maybe let's break this one as well. Don't know if we did. Here we go. So now all I have to do here in Photoshop in order to hide those layers and start to work with one of those at the time is to click on the little eye icon next to the layer in order to hide the visibility of the layer. So look what happened. If I just click and hide, I'm going to be left just with one image. That is this one at the top. Right, so how do I select just the flowers so we can use it for our poster? Well, we have an amazing tool in Photoshop, which is here in our toolbar and is our wonderful select subject. So if you click once into our select subject, object selection tool, into our object selection tool with this, which is this little icon right here, all we have to do, we can click on select subject, which is pretty much going to do the same, or you can create a frame in order to create your selection. So you're telling Adobe Sensei, which is Adobe Artificial Intelligence, hey, looks inside this area, and boom, and a second look at this selection with the marching hand is done a pretty good job already cutting out the flowers out. Or another way that you can do that, press first of all Command D, that's Control D on PC in order to undo the selection, is to go up here and change that selection from rectangle to lasso. In this other way, you'll be able to use the lasso tool to just draw the area. So maybe you can be a little bit more precise. So when you create your selection for Adobe Sensei, you just say, hey, look just in this area. So as you can see, you refined your selection even more. And then another third way is to use the select subject. So again, press Command D to deselect and click on select subject and just give it a second. And here it is. Our fantastic Adobe Sensei, just in a few seconds, has created a wonderful selection for us to use. There are ways in which we can refine also even more our selection. And this is this amazing way of doing so in our select and mask workspace. So the reason why we are seeing the image like that, so we have the selection in bright colors and the little colors a bit lighter. Sorry, I got distracted by the chat. I'm gonna read it in a second. You will see the background that it looks like is more transparent, and that's why, because the standard view mode is called onion skin, which allow us to play with this transparency slider here. And look what happened. So this transparency is going to control the transparency of the pixels that are not selected. So that's going to allow us to have a better view of perhaps some pixel that we're missing or some pixel that we want to get rid of. In this case, if you allow 100% transparency, all we got left is with our selection. And we can see that we have some lines here, so we can perhaps increase the edge detection in order to get a sharper selection. Then also add a little bit more of contrast in order to make the edges a little sharper. But look what happens. I'm going to zoom in here to see. when you create a sharper selection with our contrast, you also create some jagged edges that you can always adjust with a smooth slider over here, which is going to help you making a little bit of a smooth transition so they're not too sharp and definitely not jagged. Fantastic. When you're happy with your selection, click on OK. And we're going to have our selection loaded here. So all we have to do now is to click into our mask, which is this little icon here at the bottom of our layer panel, in order to create a mask. Now, if you want to further refine a mask, there is a way of doing so, which is using our minimum filter. But before jumping into that, I really want to read at the chat, because I can see that a lot is going on and I probably missed something. So I was playing 10 minutes back in this stream. There's anything going on? Let me know in the chat. Tim is saying, yeah, sometimes you end up watching the stream on a huge delay. Can be worth refreshing if the time stream doesn't match to the actual time. Tim, let me know if I need to do anything. Here, every setting looks cool. Looks that our connection is doing well. So let me know. It looks like that our stream health is doing well. So hopefully there is no issue here. Fantastic. Hopefully everyone is catch up. Great. Thank you for sending love. Mohammed from Pakistan is sending love. I love that. Very nice. Steve here. Nice to see you. Welcome here. We're good. Fantastic. So let's keep going. With your mask selected, we're going to introduce another fantastic tool that is going to allow us to remove those darkest edges, because we want a smooth transition. Steven is saying that he's new to Behance. Fantastic. I hope that you enjoyed the stream. So how do we reduce the mask? So how do we shrink the mask? So the first important things to learn about mask is that everything on a mask layer is just black and white, or any different shade of gray, and anything that is lighter, so white or lighter gray, is going to allow you to see what is below. So white reveals pixel, and as you can see, everything that is white here in the flowers is being revealed. It's almost like a cutout. The white part is where the light comes from, and everything that is black or darker gray is going to be hidden. So in this case, you can see that all this area of the background is black. So how do we increase a little bit this spread of the black pixels so they can eat up a little bit of this area over here in order to hide this contour? Well, very simple. We have a fantastic tool that allows a lot of control, which is the filter. Now, make sure that you have your mask selected, so those little marquees are around the mask. Know your subject, the mask, and then click on Filter, Other, and Minimum. Minimum will allow you to contract the mask by spreading the black pixels. And you can also change the radius. And the reason why this radius is so wonderful is that you can go like 1.6, and it allows you so much control. So you can refine your edges with a lot of control. And look what happens if we just exceed with it. It's going to kind of eat out the image completely. So we don't want to do that. We want to keep it nice and clean. And I think that perhaps like 3.5. Let's have a look. Maybe even a little more will do. So we just basically kind of go rid of those edges there. Fantastic. When you're done with your selection, all you have to do is to click on OK. Also remember, make sure the preview is always ticked so you can see the difference before and after. It looks much cleaner. Fantastic. Click on OK. And here it is. This filter is now applied to your mask. Right, so what we're going to do now is to hide those flowers, and we're just going to keep going and doing the same much quickly using our object selection tool. So I'm going to go back into our rectangle tool and make sure that we create a selection over here. Oops, looks like I am still working on the mask. See, I need to select the appropriate layer, and then we can press Command D to deselect those pixels. And now we can create our rectangle into the right layer, and boom, our rose is selected. So again, click on the mask in order to have the mask in here. And look again, this mask looks pretty sharp. If we're going to select a mask, we can perhaps smooth that out. And I'm gonna keep doing these for few more little flowers here. I'm not gonna do it for everything, just because I want to make sure that we jump into the mockup and the time is running. All right, so I'm gonna jump into this bigger image. So I'm gonna hide the visibility of this one and then jump into this bigger image. And this is much more of a messier composition. This is me handing all the flowers that I just selected from my garden. So again, all we gotta do here is to jump back into our lasso tool and make a lasso selection of our image that we want to have. So we can perhaps help our lovely and friendly sensei. And again, I'm gonna be quite rough with this selection for a few reasons. First and foremost, we're going to, I've done it again, I'm so sorry. We need to select the right layer before you make a selection. That's absolutely my bad. I'm sorry, sensei. So I'm doing that again. And here it is. And again, I'm being a bit rough because I want to show you more. You can take your time, perhaps double click on the end tool so you can feed the image to screen if you want to add this little flower. But what happens if we want to add that? Well, very simple. Go back into your object selection tool, then hold shift, and you'll be able to add more pixels to your selection. So hopefully it's going to grab that little flower as well, just like so. And as well as we've done with adding with shift, with option we can remove pixels. So if we press option on Mac and alt on Windows, we'll be able to remove areas just like so, and that would help us with our selection. Maybe we can remove my hand as well, and here it is. Right, fantastic. As I said, I'm not gonna go too much into depth. I'm already, perhaps the only thing that I'm gonna do is to add this little leaf area since we have it right there. Oop, looks like it's not picking that up. But let's create a mask and see how we bring it in with another technique. So click on the mask icon in order to create a mask, and let's clean that up a little bit more. So another way to reveal and hide object in a mask is to use our brush tool. So press the letter B or head here into the brush tool, and then make sure that you set your foreground color to the right one that you want to use. Remember, black one is going to allow you to hide pixels. And if you want to make your brush a little bit bigger, you can use the brackets. So the right curly brackets is going to make your brush bigger, and the left one is going to make it smaller. So with your right layer selected, which is the mask, make sure to paint in order to hide pixels that you don't want in your selection, just like so. And if you want, for example, reveal this part of the leaf, all you have to do is to zoom in and press X to swap between your foreground and your background swatches, and make sure the white right now is going to be into our foreground in order to paint white pixels just like so. Again, I'm doing a very, very rough job here. I will recommend you to spend more time. Also, we could refine our edges. Look how jagged they are over here. It's looking quite jagged. So we can always go back into our select a mask by selecting our select object tool and then click on select a mask. And we can definitely bump up our smoothness, and it makes a huge difference in the selection. Here it is, much neater. Okay, fantastic. I'm not going to worry about much else because we're probably going to cover up all the rest of the mistake. Probably the last thing that we're going to do is to use minimum. Actually, I'm going to show you something else so you can see all the broad tools here since we are discovering Photoshop together. Another way to contract your selection is to go under select. Just one second. I believe it's select. I actually have a little empty moment of mine here. I thought it was under the selection mode. Oh yeah, modify. Of course, I don't have any selection. How am I supposed to see things? So in order to see your selection, press Command and click on the mask in order to load your selection. And go now under your select, and that's what I was looking for, modify. So go under modify and contract. Now, as you can see, the difference between modify and the filter is that the filter allows us much more control. We can choose between round and square, and we can also use decimal number. Here, we're going to contract it by, let's say, 5 pixels, maybe that's too much, and click on OK. And it will automatically contract the mask. So all you have to do now is to paint the rest of the mask into a different color. Can you see that it's contracted over there? So you can perhaps now swap selection. And as you can see, that created a different selection there. But I enjoy using the mask a little bit more just because it's a little bit more friendly. With the contract, then you have to go ahead and perhaps paint out all the rest. So the way that I would have done it is that inverted my selection and painted in black all the contract, the pixels that are outside. So you have that done, but it's much more work. I prefer a much cleaner workflow with other and minimum. And as you can see, that does it much faster. Can probably use it a little more. Fantastic. Okay. So while we create our images here, and I'm gonna just bring those flowers in, and perhaps I'm just gonna use those because the time is ticking. Guys, I will be here with you for such a long time. I can't believe the time is going so fast. So we can start by resizing and repositioning our flowers. I'm gonna put that up here. And I'm going to put this one over here. So all I'm doing is selecting the layer and then click into Command T to transform, and you'll be able to transform by pulling up and down into this bounding box, just like so. Then you can also transform this layer into a smart object by right-clicking into it and click on Convert to Smart Object. This will allow us to create a layer that will be editable without creating any destructive edits. So for example, we can go ahead and apply a camera roll filter in order to change the color of this flower. And I'm gonna go under color mixer here and click into hue, and I'm gonna change the red into pinks. So as you can see, maybe into oranges. Can we make it like very orange? Just like so. Isn't that super cool? You can change color so fast, and click on OK. Now, another way in which you can apply a different color and change the color is to use the hue and saturation adjustment, which is just right here. So select your image, click on the hue and saturation, which is this layer over here, and you'll be able to change the color of to whatever you want. Now, if you wanted to affect only the layer below, make sure that you put your mouse in between the two layers and hold Option in order to create a mask, a clipping mask that only affects the layer below. So look what happens now when I change color. This orange looks pretty nice. It only affects the color below. And now I'm gonna create another adjustment layer here, which is a solid color on the top of the background. And we're gonna go with my favorite color, which is this kind of greenish color, maybe a little bit darker. Fantastic. So we started to create our composition. Of course, we got like a few minutes. I want to show you the mock-up. Everyone be smart and use smart object, that Tim says. I completely agree. Fantastic. So I'm going to show you real quick how to jump into the mockup. Of course, in order to save this file and use it for your background, in order to replace it for your poster, all you have to do is to go ahead and click on the first layer, then use Shift Option Command E in order to merge all the layer and create a new layer. And I'm going to apply here a gradient map. And as you can see, the gradient map applies to the entire image. I'm going to go ahead and select our photographic toning, which are part of our legacy gradients. And I'm going to go ahead and, as I said, choose photographic toning. And I'm going to go for a sepia cyan. And then I'm going to click on the gradient map and choose, I think, overlay. Looks really nice, and this kind of like tightens up the color, so it just gives an overall look to your image that looks nice and tidy. Then I'm going to press Shift to select those both layer and press right click in order to create a smart object. So it's one single layer. Let's head back into our libraries and click and drag in order to bring this image in. So then all we have to do is to jump back into InDesign, select our image, and we can replace it. So I'm going to click, double click, and then delete. So we have the frame, but the image is gone. Tim, thank you so much. Just a few minutes, otherwise I would have said that. But Tim is telling you how to show the legacy gradients. All we have to do is to click and drag our Photoshop image here. Oops. And it should be ready to go. I don't know why the size is not showing correctly. Probably the other file at a different size. But we can always click and stretch. And again, we can always use another fantastic shortcut, which is Shift Option Command E in order to fit our image to our background, just like so. So I don't know why it looks so pixelated. It looks like it's way smaller than it was. I think I was working with the right size. Hopefully, yes. Otherwise, the only reason why it looks pixelated, it could be if we have a different view, but that should be correct. We can also right click and export our layer. So click on File, Export, Quick Export as a PNG, and that will allow us to export our file. So I'm going to call it background as a PNG into our desktop. Oh, already got, so background 02, we got already another background. Fantastic. So when we go back into our poster, we can press Command D to replace, and we're going to use our PNG. Hopefully that looks better. Yeah, fantastic. So I'm not sure what was going on with the size of that document, but definitely let's export it as a PNG, then press the letter W to see our preview, and this is ready to go. I promised to show you how to save for print. What was it? Shift Command E. Yes, Shift Command E to center your file. So if you have like an image inside a box and is displayed, so let's say for example this image over here is like not centered, Shift Option Command E, we bring it right in the center. Fantastic. We can make it perhaps a little bit bigger as well, just to bring in more color, because I didn't have the chance to add all the different flowers that I wanted to add. But here we go. Just make it a little more colorful, just like so. Oops. Can you tell that I just got a few minutes to go and wish I was there to do a little more? Okay. Oops. I think that I undid too much. Okay, let's export it like that. Unfortunately, it looks like we got 1 minute. So all we're gonna do here is to go under File and Export, or press Command E on Mac, that's Control E on Windows. Then make sure that we select our Adobe PDF for print and click on Save. And then we wanna check that our mark and bleeds, we can add our bleed marks and our crop marks, and then we can click on Export and click on OK. And then I think it's time to say goodbye. I wanted to do so much more work. I got perhaps 1 more minute to show you the bleed, the difference with the bleed. So if we bring our image outside the bleed, just like so, and then we do again Command E and export, we're gonna call it poster number 2 so we see the difference, and click on Save. Go to marks and bleed, make sure the bleed marks are selected, or we can use bleed settings of the document and click on Export. Click on OK. Looks like there is some overtext. It's fine for now. The PDF should open with us, and look at the difference. So the poster that didn't have the image is absolutely fine because that's white on the edge, but the poster number 2 with the image has got the background that flows outside the trim line. So the printer is going to trim here, but if it does a little mistake and it cuts over here, we're cool. We're still going to have that background. Fantastic. So we are done with our poster. You already got the mockup in the folder. Hopefully we're gonna be able to do it soon again. Don't forget that just after me here, we're gonna have so much more fun coming up. Photoshop Daily Creative Challenge coming in a few minutes. just make sure to grab a cup of tea, and Paul Trani is going to be there waiting for you for this amazing challenge. And after, you can see a full day up to 3 p.m. Closing off with Voodoo Val. 3 challenges, a lot of fun here at Adobe Live. It was an absolute pleasure to be with you guys. Go ahead and follow me on I am Kladi on Instagram so we can chat and keep the conversation going also there. And it's time to say goodbye. It was an honor to be with you, and I hope to catch you soon. Have a fantastic day. Goodbye, everyone.